Okay, we got the blower back there. Anyway, this is round two. What we have, I'm going to kind of take everybody over here, and just to let everybody know, I've got darn. You know what's kind of hard to hear over that blower. Yeah, come on, closer in. Okay. Here's what I've got. If you haven't noticed already, I've got solar power up here, like a lot of solar power. My bills used to be like about $500 a month, because I have a lot of pumps here, but now it's down to about $10 a month, so it's very, very reasonable, yeah. And I've got a LA Times did a one-page article on Enviroscape and one of our projects we did last year, April 7th to be exact. It was on a Saturday, a big one-page article on rainwater harvesting. And we actually were the first ones in North America to actually convert a swimming pool into a rainwater harvesting system. And I did one here in my backyard. I actually had one of the very first natural swimming pools in the United States back here. But I thought that the water issues were so big that I decided to go ahead and convert my natural swimming pool into a rainwater harvesting system. So when it rains, it goes down the gutter. It gets I have a purifier to it, and then the rainwater gets stored underneath those big flagstones with a flexi pave in between them. So when it rains, I get rainwater here, rainwater from the house. I have big pipes that go under it, and then it actually filters it out, and then it saves it. I save 5,000 gallons of water when it rains during the winter. So we figured out the calculations with my native plants, with my drip irrigation. I save about, I only need about 1 to 2 months a year for my garden instead of 12 months a year. And I have to say something about this too. Who here has drip irrigation? Okay. Who is looking someday to do drip irrigation? Okay. Let me give you a piece of advice. I was never a big drip irrigation proponent, because what happens when you put this in, if roots decide to grow it, I cut away at this, it's normally not this, it's a pinprick. But what happens when you have a drip irrigation system and roots grow in it? It doesn't work. So in order to make this a viable solution, Rainbird, who's the world's biggest irrigation company, I kept asking them, when are you going to have a drip irrigation product? When are you going? And for year after year, they kept telling me, we have something in testing, Mike. When this thing is released, it's going to take over the world. Well, I'm here to tell you, it did. There's a cutaway here. With the Rainbird drip irrigation, you have to specifically ask for it. They put a little piece of copper in there. And the copper has negative ions. When the water goes through it, the negative ions create an acid that burns the root tips of anything that gets in there. The other companies, they tell you, like I'll tell you who the companies are. There's Netafim, Toro, and Hunter. Those are the other big irrigation companies. A few more, but they're real small. But anyway, they tell you, you ask them a question, how do you keep roots out of here? And they'll tell you, oh, it's easy. You splice in a fertigation system and you blow herbicide through that. Now, how many of you want herbicide killing your soil that you work so hard to build up? You don't. So Rainbird has found it's the world's only sustainable drip irrigation. And we just can't keep this on our shelves when we tell people. In fact, we are installing some of this at the Manhattan Beach Botanical Garden in about 2 weeks. We're redoing the waterfall. It's time to kind of add more boulders there. And we're going to be doing a native lawn just around there, and we're going to be doing drip irrigation with Rainbird. So it's some really cutting edge stuff that we've got. I'm also doing let's see if I can. I'm going to get her working. Okay, to show you how fast solar power works, look at this. The sun's kind of gone down, but it's going! Solar power! Yay! And will that solar power panel, will that reach over there for the sun here? Would that? I was kind of tangled mess right there, but if you could Okay, so this is solar power right here. So imagine that. Oh, there we go. Now that is powering this pump right here. Oh, there we go. Yep, it's coming. Look at that. It's working. And that's even kind of partially shaded there where he's got it. But that's actually a waterfall. It's working. So I'm actually doing research and development with a lot of solar-powered pumps. So it's kind of neat. Now, I got to tell you about something that I've been really, really impressed with. Is anybody familiar with Prop 37? They got defeated. GMOs. Okay. All I got to say is, if you go on YouTube and look at Dr. Oz and GMOs, and it's not a good thing. Okay. So it got defeated because big money was behind Monsanto. Okay. So whatever. So we move forward. Well, the people just don't know who they can trust. Well, they know they can trust themselves. Now, all of us, we have an interest in gardening. After Prop 37 didn't pass, I got so many calls from people who wanted organic gardens. And then, doing research and stuff, I'm thinking there's got to be a better way that you could save water, that's less labor intensive. Is there a way to grow food faster? Found out that NASA invented a way to grow food in outer space. It's not called hydroponics, it's called aeroponics because it's air and water. There's a Disney World decided that they were going to go ahead and take the vertical gardens that NASA had invented and kind of perfect it, which they did. The guy who did that also thought, you know what, why can't I do that for the regular household? So he created this called the Tower Garden. And what it is water doesn't hit the air, water doesn't hit the outside of this. There's a chamber in here where water pushes up here, and it waters just the root zone of the plants right here. And so it uses the same water over and over again. It recycles it, and it has a 20-gallon thing. Now, typically, if through the years, people have called me and they've said, you know what, we'd like to have organic garden in our deck, in our yard, or my second story. Today, I won't even do it. I won't even attempt it. They've said, okay, well, if it doesn't work out, I won't call you back. Well, I'm here to tell you that they do there. Or they'll plant cactus in it afterwards because all that compost tea goes on their nice tile, and they're like, forget it. Okay, so with this, there's no there's no weeding, there's no redoing the compost. It's minerals and it's water. And the water comes through here every 15 minutes and then goes off, it airs out for 15 minutes. The interesting thing is that instead of taking 300 gallons to grow a tomato from seed, I can do it with 5 to 10 gallons. And I've never seen food grow so fast until I saw the aeroponic garden. A month is what I get. So this is like a food machine. So if you're interested in stuff that's non-pesticide, non-chemical, the Tower Garden. Now, Dina, I asked her to come. She's the local person right here. If you're interested in this, you can put your email there. She can send you some information on it. It took me about 10 minutes to put this thing together. My story, actually, I ordered my first one. I put it together, left it on my deck. And I get hit up by so many gimmicks. And I put it up on my deck up there, my second story. And I thought, okay, and I forgot about it. And 3 weeks later, I don't ever go out on the deck. I'm like, the whole thing was just cut. You couldn't see any white. It was complete. My basil was just covered up here. Lettuce down here, tomatoes, cucumbers. Oh, incredible. Yeah, incredible. And I'm still doing a lot of research on LinkedIn, still doing a lot of research, finding out why this works so well, because I'm like, wait a minute, I thought I knew it all. The thing is, follow the instructions. They do give you a little tonic with minerals. Here I am thinking I know everything. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try some liquid fertilizers. I'm like, boy, they told me real fast. The plants did. We don't like that. So I pumped it out of my garden. I followed the directions here. So, but if anybody, if you're interested in one, I just really believe in this type of thing. I think it's the wave of the future. If you're interested in it and you do get a system with Dina, I'd be happy to come by and throw it together for you. Literally 10 minutes is all it takes. And then you plug it in, and it's a 20-watt pump too. That's virtually nothing at all. let me let's go in back of the garage. I'm going to take you to visit my girls.